Hey everybody, it is Greg Gossett from Gossett Trading and Mentoring Live, and today is Tuesday, April 28th, 2020. We are again in the final hour of the trading day. In my opinion, at least for me, the best time, the most valid time to make my buying and selling decisions for the day is at the end of the day. The reason I say this is during the regular market hours, you have the algorithms, you have the day traders. They're the ones controlling the pricing. At the end of the day, in the last hour, and particularly in the last few minutes, you have the large financial institutions coming in and they take over the control of the price. And in my opinion, they have extremely smart people. They're dealing with the most money. They have the best technology. They have the best information. And in that last hour of the day, they come in, take control take control of the pricing away from the intraday traders and move it to what, in my opinion, is the most valid price. And that's why I like to piggyback on that, make the majority of my buying and selling decisions at the end of the day, along with what the large financial institutions are doing. I have had quite a few day trades in the last while. They've worked out pretty well, and I do have one today that I'll show you, but the majority of my trades I make at the end of the day. So anyway, thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I always look forward to seeing everyone here. I think we have a great group. We have really good comments, questions, input, poems, and I really appreciate you coming and spending your time here. And I hope that you are learning something and you're getting some kind of return on your time investment by spending time with me each day. So thank you for coming by. All right, well, interesting day today. Boy, we gapped up big, and then gave it most of it back. It's been a little up and down, but we had a huge open and then sold off. So it's interesting. Dow Jones right now is the leader here. It's up 63 points. It was up over 400 points, up 0.27%. The NASDAQ is actually down today, 61 points, down 0.71%. And the S&P is up slightly, 3.68%, up 0.13%. So interesting day today, really interesting day. So, all right, let's take a look. Marco is here. Hey, Marco, good to see you, my friend. Always nice to see you. Hope you're having a good evening in Slovenia, and thanks for spending time here. Dirk is here. Hey, Dirk, good to see you. Dirk says, hi, Miko25. Hey, Miko, good to see you, my friend. Miko says, good afternoon. Kamal is here. Hey, Kamal. Look forward to speaking to you tonight. Thanks for coming. Scatty13. Hello, Greg and all. Hello, Scatty. Nice to see you. Dan is here. Hey, Greg and group. Hey, Dan. Quad Racer is here. Hey, buddy, what's going on? I replied to your email and looking forward to our first lesson tomorrow evening. Really looking forward to that. But thank you for coming today, Quad Racer. Zach is here. Hey, Zach, good to see you. Frank is here. Hey, Frank, always nice to have you, sir. Frank says hello to Greg and the group, and Bob is here as well. Hello, all. Hello to Bob. So, and Javier is here. Howdy, y'all. Hey, howdy. Javier, good to see you. All right, so listen, here's the plan for today. We have a lot to go over. First of all, I'm going to run the U.S. legal disclaimer. Secondly, going to come back, take a look at my current positions, talk about when I bought them, why I bought them, what my thinking was when I bought them, what the setup was when I bought them, and then most importantly, how I'm going to manage them either to the upside or to the downside. After that, some of you have been kind enough to share trades with me up on the board. We will be going through those, taking a look and see how those are doing. After that, we are going to spend a few minutes on trader psychology. I like to carve out a little bit of time every day in this live stream to talk about trader psychology. The longer you trade, the more you'll understand how important it is. And that's why I always, beat everybody over the head with it. Because, you have to learn to trade. You have to learn support, resistance, indicators, entries, exits. Yes, that's all fundamental to trading. But the biggest challenge, at least it has always been for me, is following my plan. So, I devise all sorts of ways for me to follow my plan. some that you wouldn't believe, but I understand how important it is, and sometimes it's very hard to do. So, that's why I like to spend time on it. And hopefully by hearing these messages each day and these different memes and trading words of wisdom, that you'll listen to them and you'll internalize them. Okay. After that, we're going to go down through my watch list. I have 3 requirements whenever I look to enter a new position. First requirement is I need a confluence or combination of indicators, need them to line up. You will improve your chances, dramatically improve your chances of having a profitable trade if you are in the company with as many other groups as buyers, right? Buyers. It makes sense, right? If you're the only buyer and everyone's selling, it's going to be tough to get something to go up. So you want to be in the company with as many other groups of buyers as possible. And the way that I try to achieve that is I look for a confluence or a combination of indicators lining up together on one time frame, ideally on 2 time frames. I look at indicators as groups of buyers. So I want to see different groups of buyers coming together, and that's when I want to get in. Requirement number 2, good risk reward. Mention this all the time, but you can have a good confluence of indicators or an indicator that has an edge. But if you're like me, I have certain levels that I will not buy something at. Even if I have a good setup, if it's too overextended based upon what I feel like it's overextended, usually using RSI or using ATR channels. So make sure you have a good risk to reward, at least 2 to 1, depending on what the indicators and filters you're using as support underneath you and resistance above you. Step number 3, requirement number 3, make sure that you do not have too many correlated positions. You don't want 4 tech stocks, right? You should have 1 tech stock, maybe 2 maximum, an auto, a pharmaceutical, something like that. Have some diversification. And also, if you get a proper setup, I like to go outside of equities, bonds, oil, gold, silver, dollar, something like that, right? To really get diversified. And then I have another requirement, account heat. I'll never put more than 60% of my account at risk in a trade. Doesn't mean I have to have 60, but that is my maximum that I will. So anyway, I'm going to go down through the watch list, look for those 3 requirements. If I see something at the end of the day, I'll look for the very best one. And if there's something at the end of the day, I will go ahead and place the order. Then after the market closes, if anybody has any questions for me, please let me know. If you'd like me to take a look at a stock symbol, please let me know. Just type it in the chat. If there's something that's time sensitive and you'd like my opinion on it before the market closes, feel free to put it in the chat. Just make sure you put a star by it, something like that, so I know it's time sensitive, and I'll do my best to get to it. All right, so that's the plan for today. So if you could just hang on, I'm going to run that US legal disclaimer, and I will be back in about 40 seconds. Thanks a lot. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Please carefully read and/or listen to the U.S. government required disclaimer before watching this video or live stream broadcast. The video link and disclaimer text are located in the description section of this video or live broadcast, here and here. Thank you so much. All right, thanks for hanging through there with me. Hey, Steve Burns is here. Good to see you, my friend. Always an honor, always a privilege to have Steve here in the chat with us. It's a big deal. I mean, it's really a big deal. And I always look forward to seeing Steve here, being able to ask Steve questions, and just be able to have him here is really, really great. So thank you so much, Steve, for coming. Hope you're having a good day. Fish Stick Boy. Hey, Fish Stick Boy, good to see you. I haven't seen you before. Thanks for coming by. Do you think Sony is a good stock to buy? I think it will do well in the future because the PS5 is coming out in October. You know what? Sony is a stock I do not follow. Maybe if somebody could give me the symbol for Sony, I could take a look. But I'd be happy. Well, actually, let me look this way. Let me see if I can go over here and check it out. SNE. Well, you know, from a fish stick boy, from a trading perspective, the way that I look at charts, this wouldn't be of interest to me here. I mean, it's above the 1 ATR channel. It's good. It's making higher highs and higher lows. So it is in an uptrend. But what I would be looking for is a pullback into the mean, a pullback into the value zone, which is between this green line and this green line. Have it come back down in the value zone, stop going down, maybe a nice bounce around the 200-day moving average to give me a better risk to reward. Let's look on the weekly. Well, from the weekly, you know, we had this big move down. We have rallied back to about halfway. We are above the 50 RSI, which is good, but you definitely could be right as far as the fundamentals of the company. But from a trading perspective, I wouldn't be interested in it here. I'd like to see it come back down here in order for me to consider it a good risk to reward. Hey, David, good to see you. Appreciate you coming, my friend. Always nice to have you. Hey, Zach, good to see you. That's our other Zach. Javier said SNE. Yep, just looked at that. Hey, Frank. Oh, I think we have a poem. All right, let me look. Yep, it's a poem. If Frank actually posted something, I would think it was a poem and I would read it. And if it didn't rhyme, I'd like, hey, what's going on here? But this is a poem. Frank says, it's earnings season. We sort out the rhyme and the reason. For the market, no guidance ain't pleasing. As stocks do rise, sorry, Frank. Oh, shoot. Frank deleted it right in the middle. That's why I couldn't see it. Okay, maybe he's going to repost it, and I'll read it again. Hey, GM, good to see you. Good job on your Amazon today. It's going down on the puts you bought. SPY needs to close above 28.68. All right, noted. Well, it's that 28.68 is definitely within range. Zach says, I have a question about small account day trades. I know you're restricted to 3 trades per 5 rolling days, but does that apply when using settled cash to trade? You know, Zach, I do not know. Honestly, I do not really know about the restrictions on day trading because it's never something I've had to deal with. Maybe somebody out there knows. He's asking about small account. I know you're restricted 3 trades per 5 rolling days, but does that apply when using settled cash to trade? I don't know. Javier says, PDT rule explains well in the link. Okay, I don't know if, Javier, if you can post the link. I don't know if YouTube lets you post the link in the live chat. Okay, I'll wait on Frank's poem and let's take a look, see what's going on. All right, so Apple, I do not have any positions in Apple, directional stock trades in Apple, but I did buy a long-term call in Apple back here during the week of 3/27. I bought it right here when we had a nice V1 on the weekly. I bought June 21, $250 calls. So you can see right now the price is $280.82. So I have done really well on those calls. They're in the money, right? Because they're $250 calls. Now it's $280. So they're in the money figuratively and monetarily. They're also in the money because it's moved up and I've got the call. So I'm very happy with these calls. As a matter of fact, right now, yeah, just under 50% of the calls that I've made there. So my plan for this trade is if it comes all the way back, I am going to get out of it and take a loss if to the upside. If we reject the 1 ATR channel, that will be my reason to take profits on the calls. If it keeps above there, I'll just keep it until it fails. So anyway, Apple is down a bit today. MasterCard, I did take a higher low V2 entry. We were above the value zone. We came into the value zone. We moved sidewards, although up and down a little bit, but then I bought this back on the 24th of April. We had two things going on here. We had a 520 crossover, which helped with the decision, but I would not have based it just upon that because that is not a really good backtested approach to trading MasterCard. But anytime you have a crossover, it's better than not having a crossover. The main reason I took it is because we had this V2. Here's day one. Here's day two. Day two washed out day one, closed above day one's close. I bought it here at 258.14. Took some nice profits on it yesterday. Did hit one profit target right up here at 270.85, which I was glad to get after the reversal. Anyway, really nice trade. I am going to get out of it this afternoon because tomorrow is earnings in the morning, and I'm not going to hold through earnings. If it was in the afternoon, I'd hold it. Maybe, actually, even if it was in the afternoon. If it lost this 50-day moving average, I probably would have gotten out. But it's a moot point because earnings are tomorrow morning, so I'm going to go ahead and just lock in profits. But I'm glad to see this is up today, and I'm glad that I got that profit target up there about over $3 higher today. So thank you, MasterCard, for that good trade. But MasterCard will be selling at the end of the day. All right, world famous SPY trade. All right, listen, in case we have some new viewers, I want to go over this real quick. Just let everybody know why I do buy the SPY every day at the close and why I sell it first thing the next morning. Let me take a look here. All right, so this is based upon a long-term back-tested study from Liz Ann Saunders. Since 1993, they tested two different approaches, and she's at Bespoke Invest on Twitter. So from 1993, they tested two approaches. Approach number one, buy the SPY at the open, hold through the day, sell at the close. If you use this approach every day since 1993, you'd have lost a negative 13.9%. However, if you did the opposite, which was what I do, I buy the SPY at the close, hold overnight, take the overnight risk, sell it first thing the next morning. If you use this approach, 634.2% compared to a negative 13.9%. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. That's true with any trading approach, but the blue line is the buy in the afternoon, hold overnight, sell the next morning. The orange line is the buy in the morning, hold through the day, sell in the afternoon. You can see there is a clear difference in return on investment, right? So that is why up here, I said past performance is no guarantee of future results. That's true, but if I'm going to allocate money towards something, I want to allocate it towards something that has a good record, right? Doesn't mean it's going to happen in the future, but it has had a really good past record doing this. So there's ups and downs. You definitely feel it using this approach. 2019 was fantastic. 2020, not so great, but it has been much better later. But they're big drawdowns here. Sometimes they can last for a year or two. So you have to take, for me, I have to take a long-term approach on this trade. I position size very conservatively, so if I get into a string of losers, it doesn't hurt as much. But over time, it has done well, and that is why I do use this trade every day. That being said, I did buy the SPY yesterday at 287.05, and had a great gap up here. Got out at 291 even. So just about 4-point gap to the upside, and got out right near the top. So anyway, thankful for that. Had a huge comeback on this approach over the last couple months or month and a half. So anyway, grateful for that. I will be buying this again today at the close. All right, so those are the three positions. I did take a trade today on Southwest Airlines, and let me explain because this is a little bit different than normal. I was going through the charts, going through stocks, looking for an end of day trade. I noticed that Southwest had reported earnings, so that was out of the way. But what I really liked here, and if you're one of my students, you know that I like stocks coming down, sideways movement, and a quick break to the downside and reversal, whether it's in the value zone or really where, if anywhere, there's sideways movement, because consolidation, sideways movement usually breaks strong one way or the other. Well, it broke to the downside earlier and then it reversed. So as I saw it reverse, I saw the V1 forming here. Here's day one, day two washes out. On this particular trade, you know, you could take the V1 right when it forms. Usually I wait till the end of the day for confirmation, but you know, I did see it here, and I was like, okay, it's very likely that I'm going to get into this trade today. Can I get into it sooner if I have a signal? So I dropped down to the 39-minute bar, and here, see the big bar? And Zach, if you're listening, we talked about this yesterday. Here's a big bar, right? This is kind of like a trend bar, kind of showing you might be going into an upward trend. Well, I didn't want to chase it and buy up here. So I looked at the 50% mark of the bar, right? And if we go from here to here, very likely we'll come back to halfway and find some support. So I knew I was getting in this on a day, on an end of day trade, most likely. And so when it got back to that halfway, I just went ahead and pulled the trigger. And had it untriggered, because I bought it down here, had it untriggered, I would have just gotten out. But my idea was, all right, most likely I'm going to get in this trade. I'm going to get in here because of the 50% fib support. And look what happened. I bought it here at 290 or 29.28, and it just went racing up. I hit 1, 2, 3, 4 profit targets. So I took some chips off the table, locked in some profits, definitely higher than it is. It's come back a little bit now, but I'm just, you know, I took it intraday based upon what I just told you. If at the end of the day, it still confirms that V1, the sideways motion with the V1, I'll go ahead and keep it and then just turn it into a regular trade. So anyway, this was a fantastic trade. Holy smokes, especially up here. Not now so much, but I'm glad that I did scale out when I did. So if it holds and keeps above yesterday's close and confirms the V1, I will hold it. My initial profit target will be the 50 RSI, and my ultimate profit target on this trade will be the high of this previous. And this, the high here is what you need when you scale out, when you do the scale out formula that I discuss and use, that my clients know. But initial profit target here is the 50. If it moves up more than 1 ATR, I will just trail the trade with the close below the previous day's low. So if that happens, you know, if it closes below halfway, that's my initial stop. If it closes, you know, if we get above 1 ATR channel and reverses, I will get out. If we reject the 50 RSI, I will get out, and maybe we'll get all the way up there. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so let's take a look at some of the trades everyone else has. Bing He did buy TLT. He bought it back here. He's had this trade for a while. Back on the 17th, he bought it at 168.80. Moved sideways, went up great, then came back down yesterday. It dumped, but now he's back in the money. So congratulations, Bing He. And if there's any changes in this trade, please let me know. Square. Okay, so Steve Burns did take Square yesterday when we had the 1050 EMA crossover. This is a good back-tested approach to trading Square. He bought it here at 63.66. Is down today 2.08%, down to 62.23. So I imagine that he will get out of this if the 10 crosses under the 50. At least that's my guess. But if it's different than that, Steve, please let me know. Facebook. All right, this is Steve Burns again. We had a 1050 SMA crossover. Bought it here 185.20. Moved up the next day, moved up the next day, and then reversed. Today it is down. Bought here at 185.20. Right now it's at 183.85. So slightly underwater on that trade. All right, QLD. Steve also did buy QLD here on the 22nd of April, 88.20, when the 10 EMA crossed over the 50 EMA. Went sideways for a while, up. Today was much higher, but it's reversed here. But he's still in the money, 88.20, and it's 89.37. So if there's any change, oh, no. This is Nike. am I talking about? Okay. Oh, I was right. Okay. 88.20. I just had the wrong chart. This is Nike 1050 cross, sideways, up, down, but still profitable on the trade. Okay. QLD. Now, here's QLD. Again, Steve Burns, 1050 EMA crossover. Good back-tested approach. Moved up, move up with gapped up higher down today. So entry price 109.38 and currently 110.49. So he's still up on the trade. So congratulations there. All right, then we have GM. Let me take a look here. So GM did buy puts on Amazon. He bought $1,900 puts expiring June 18th. They are still out of the money, but they have moved down pretty nice today. So I'm sure he is up on that. And then Bob did buy Virgin Galactic yesterday at 1782, gapped up nicely. His stop on this trade, I believe, is 1702 is what he told me yesterday. Slightly down on the trade, but not too bad. So, all right. So that is the rundown of what we have here. So again, MasterCard, I've got to get out of this. Bought this with the higher low V2. Has moved up nicely, but I have to get out because earnings are tomorrow. SPY, have a nice gap up. I'll buy that again today. And then Love, bought that intraday at 29.28, but I have this nice sideways motion and a V1 entry here and bullish engulfing bar as well. So as long as this stays above 29.11 today, I will go ahead and transform this day trade into a regular trade. All right, makes sense. Okay. GM says Tesla 810, 830, huge wall. I'm short for earnings. Okay, so GM is short for earnings. William, hey, good to see you, my friend. William says, hi everyone, great to be here live today. Hello, Greg. Glad you set this up to watch on YouTube, but live is better. Not the same catching you at all late night. Well, glad to have you here, my friend. Frank says, okay, here we go. Here's our Frank. It's earning seasons. We sort out the rhyme from the reason. For the market, no guidance ain't pleasing. As stocks do rise and do fall, heck, we're just traders. It's not our call. Fantastic, Frank. Thank you so much for doing that every day. I mean, it's just, I'm always impressed with Frank, with being able to rhyme words. Nonetheless, being able to just really hit it out of the park with what the content is and what wise knowledge this is that he can craft into a poem. It's just amazing. I'm really impressed. Hey, Moses is here. Good to see you, my friend. Hello, Greg and everyone. Thinking of buying Wes and Gush for long-term years or more. Any opinions on why not? Western Midstream Partners, a little high for me there. And Gush, is that the 3 times? Yeah, that's the 3 times. Well, my first thought would be careful with the 3 times leverage, because when it goes up, boy, it's great. But when it goes down, it is nasty. You know, as far as like a fundamental view 2 years out, I mean, look, my personal opinion, yeah, is I think probably oil will be higher in 2 years. It's probably, I understand the thinking of going out a couple years and making a bet. But we never know, right? That's my honest opinion. We just never know. You know, if you have reasons to have the trade, if you have a plan, if you have a stop loss to tell you when you're wrong, that's the most important thing. But of course, we never really know what's going on in the future with anything, right? GM says target 650, 600 support. On Tesla, probably. Yeah. Dan, small account rules covered by Asian YouTube. Humble Trader a few days ago. She's a huge VWAP fan. I like her stuff too. Oh, good. Good. Humble Trader. I saw her video, which is what made me ask here. Just wanted to verify with others. Yep, fib level. GM says Amazon 1400 area. You heard it from here. Top is 2500, 2350. All right, who knows? It might go down there, GM. Well, you've got put, so if it does, you're in good shape. Shopify, just too high for me up here. You know, I need this to pull back. I'm not going to buy these big moves up here. Doesn't mean they can't keep going, but I like to buy dips back in the value zone. So I don't see anything there. Hey Bing He, good to see you, bud. Nice to see your TLT up nicely today. Zach says, Bing He, Greg sent me the script for TV. Thank you so much for getting that over. I really appreciate it. Yes, thank you so much, Bing He. Bing He wrote up some really good code for TradingView for crossovers. I shared that with Zach. So if anybody's interested in that, let me know. Frank says, Greg, would like your thoughts on SHOP and OKTA. Okay, well, here's SHOP. I mean, we've had a nice run. We've stopped moving up. We're going sidewards. We're at a 68.52 RSI. We already lost the 70. Again, for trend traders, look, this might keep on going up, but I just don't like to buy at these levels. Sometimes it works for me. Sometimes it doesn't work. But again, me personally, I would wait for a pullback and OKTA. Well, this one at least is starting to come back. I mean, I like the nice, beautiful move up here, you know. But look, coming back is not the end of the world. I mean, that's just a normal part of stocks to be in a trend, revert back to the mean before possibly taking up again. So if it were me, I would be looking for a pullback into the value zone here is what I would be looking for. Marcella, hey, Marcella, nice to have you here. Thank you so much for coming by. Okay, so listen, this is the time of the day where I do like to talk about trading psychology, trading words of wisdom. After this, we're going to go down and look through my watch list and, you know, look for the best possible end of day trade that I can find. But before we get to that, I just want to spend a few minutes on this post. You know, there's a lot of good Facebook, Twitter channels out there that post really good words of wisdom, and we should, you know, I try to go through them, find something that's relevant that would be helpful for the group. And one of my favorites out there is Trading Composure on Twitter. Love this channel. He really gets deep into the weeds about the importance of trading psychology. And I don't mean that in a pejorative way. He just really thinks deeply about these things, and I really appreciate it. But this is short and sweet, but I think it's important. Your trade decisions should be such that win or loss, you wouldn't hesitate a second to make the same trade with the same parameters again and again. And when I read this, it really hit home because this happens with me. I see this happen all the time with my students when we're doing simulation trading. You know, we might have a 520 crossover and we'll take the crossover and it will fail. And then another crossover will come and the student, my student will be, I don't know if I want to take this again because the last one failed. And then I'm like, no, you need to take it again. We take it again, and then it's a loss. And then the third one comes, and this isn't even real money, by the way. This is simulation trading. And the third one comes, and I'm like, do you want to take it? And he's like, oh man, didn't work the last couple times. I don't think I want to take it. Well, I make him take it because that's what you're supposed to do. And, you know, surprise, surprise, usually that's the one that goes and has a nice run. So, I mean, it's human nature to, if you take, you know, a V1, if you just took a V1 and it failed, it's hard to take it again. I don't know why. You know, you'd much rather go, okay, that V1 didn't work. Oh, here's a crossover. You feel better about taking it. But you know, every coach and mentor that I've had has told me, if you take a trade using a certain setup and it fails, and then it re-triggers, you have to take it again, right? Same parameters, has to be a valid approach. You have to position size for it, but I get it. For some strange human reason, you don't want to take it again. It's like once bitten, twice shy. But in my experience, you need to take the trade if it's valid again and again and again, right? It's just like a casino. If they deal one-handed blackjack and they lose, the casino loses, it's not like the casino's like, oh, that's it, we are out of here, we're boarding up, right? They just, they know they have an edge. So if you have an edge, you want to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. Basketball players, they don't make every jump shot, but historically, they make whatever percent their field goal percentage is when they make. So just if they don't make it, it's not like they're going to stop because they lost one. They know over the long run they're going to make more than they've lost. So keep that in mind. If you have a trade and it fails and then you get another setup, the exact same setup, don't shy away from taking it. Make sure you have everything in place. But so many times I've done this where it didn't work, I skipped the next one, and of course that's the one that goes, right? That's how it goes. So anyway, your trade decisions should be such that win or loss, you wouldn't hesitate a second to make the same trade with the same parameters again and again. So Trading Composure on Twitter at YVANBYEAJEE. Go to his channel, subscribe to it. I think it's very valuable. Zach says, I got GME at 528 today. Let's take a look at GME. Oh, nice, Zach. Me worrying I sold off too early yesterday was all for nothing. So you got it at 528. All right. Zach, if you keep that today, let me know and I'll put it on the board, but I'm not, or I'll have to do it after here just because of time. But you got it at 528 yesterday. Oh, at today. Okay. Wow. Very nice. And back up to 567. Fantastic. Fantastic, my friend. So listen, we have earnings today. By the way, this is earnings whispers on, Steve Burns always shares this and I really appreciate it, but I think it's under earnings whispers, but I love this. They put this out every earnings season, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Today before the open, we had Southwest and 3M and UPS and Caterpillar and Merc, Harley Davidson, which I saw did well. But today after the close, pretty big. We have AMD, Alphabet, Google, we have Starbucks, we have Ford, Dexcom, iRobot, PayPal, Akami, FireEye, and NXP. So this should be fairly significant. Tomorrow, Boeing in the morning, GE, Spotify, MasterCard. That's why I'm getting out of MasterCard today. Tomorrow afternoon is going to be huge with Tesla, Facebook, Microsoft, Qualcomm, and then Amazon, Twitter on Thursday. So big day. So this will probably move the market at the end of the day, the Alphabet and the AMD, I would imagine, in the tech sector. Okie doke. Let's go down, take a look at what's happening. Hey, Christopher, nice to have you, sir. I appreciate you being here from England. It's always nice to see you. Hope you're having a nice evening. All right, let's start out with Apple. All right, so Apple's down close to 1% right now. Did not like the 100-day moving average. Got kind of stuck here at the second ATR channel. This is a V1 to the downside. It's a lower high V1 to the downside, which is more bearish than a higher high V1. If we do go down, I would imagine Apple will have some type of support down here. We do have earnings coming up this week. So this is a V1 to the downside. Doesn't mean I'm going to short it, but nothing to buy here. I'd be interested if we got back into the value zone. Adobe. Well. You guys remember I sold Adobe yesterday? I bought it with the 1050 cross. It immediately went against me, but it kept me in the trade. Yesterday, it moved up finally into the profit. I didn't like that we couldn't get above that higher high, above that previous high, and we closed lower in the high. So thankfully, I sold it yesterday. This morning, it gapped up, and I was like, oh, I guess that was the wrong decision. And now that was definitely the right decision. So it's always a good feeling when you don't like the context of the chart, you get out and it proves you right. So for me to get interested in Boeing, we've poked our head into the value zone, like to see it come down a little bit, stop going down, move sideways. Always nice to have sideways movement, and then look for a V1, V2 trigger into the value zone. But yeah, really glad I got out of that yesterday. Amazon, GM's kicking butt today with his Amazon short. That was a good place yesterday. It lost the third ATR channel and it also lost the 70 RSI. So that, if you were long, that was a lot of signals to get out of a long position with, and it's down 2.41% today. So anyway, GM thinks we're going down to 1400. It very might. And we have earnings coming up. Could shoot up, could shoot down, who knows? But anyway, we'll see how your puts do. Boeing. Shoot. I was looking at buying Boeing yesterday with this V1, but it untriggered at the end of the day, and it gapped up huge, and then it went negative, and then it's positive again. Technically, it's a V2. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Day 2 washes out. Day 1, day 3 is above. Day 1's close, but Boeing's earnings are tomorrow, so I can't remember now. Oops, sorry about that. Boeing is tomorrow morning. Yeah, so there's no way I could buy this. GM is a she. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I assumed. I don't know why, but thank you. Okay, I've got it now. I have got it. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry about that. I shouldn't assume, right? Good lesson learned. All right. Berkshire, again, had a nice big gap up reversal. We do have a 520 crossover, it looks like, here today, but this does not back test well. So nothing on Berkshire. How are we doing on time? Beyond Meat rejected that 200-day moving average, got rejected. I'd be looking for a pullback into the value zone. Caterpillar had earnings, gapped up, reversed back down, has a 520 cross. This does not back test well, if I recall, so nothing there. Carnival, oh man, I can't remember who had Carnival yesterday. I took the name off, but they bought here on this nice V2. Had a great day yesterday, no doubt about it. But today just took off again. I manage an account that I do have some Carnival calls, so they're definitely happy with that. But yeah, shoot. That's, you feel great when you have a day, then you get out and it keeps going up another almost 12%. Shoot. Dow, we broke out to a new level over this range, and now we're back in the range. It would be much more bullish for the market if it could close above this range than close under back into the range. So nothing there. Walt Disney, wow. Big gap up, went further, now it's reversed. If I was in this trade, if I had taken this V2 right here, I would be getting out here if it closed below the 50-day moving average. Etsy, this has been a monster, down today. Looks like it's lost the 70 RSI and a close below the previous day's low. Facebook, down pretty substantially right now, 2.5%. Rejected that 200-day moving average. the third ATR channel. You know, about 92% of prices fail up in this range, and it looks like this one did fail here. Gold is down a bit today. I'd like to see it pull back into the value zone. Google has earnings. Wow, look at that down day on Google. But again, you know, we're up here, the second ATR channel was having a tough time with the 200 days. So, you know, I'd just like to see this move down a little bit, pull into the value zone, but it's going to move this afternoon, no doubt. Okay, I better hustle. Goldman Sachs, good. Too high for me to buy up here. Home Depot, boy, a lot of gaps and reverses today. It'd be interesting to see if it holds that 200-day, but that's too high for me to buy it up there. Take a look at something. Okay, IBB, nothing there. Pullback is what I'd be looking for. Intel, no. IWM is actually up today. It's been the strongest of the indexes for sure. Gapped higher. Be interesting if it closes under that third ATR channel. Johnson & Johnson had a big run. Just like to wait for a nice easy pullback into the value zone. CarMax, whew, big V1 to the downside. Big V1, so nothing there. Coca-Cola, reversal, nothing there. Lockheed's doing pretty well today, up a couple percent, holding that 200-day moving average as support underneath it. MasterCard, of course, I took with the higher low V1. This has been a really nice trade. Glad to hit that profit target, but I am getting out today because of earnings tomorrow. If there was not earnings, I would still get out because it rejected this 50-day moving average. McDonald's, nothing. Merc had earnings this morning, gapped down substantially, reversed a little bit, but you know, now that we're in the value zone, if we could get some sideways motion. Microsoft back into the value zone. They always come back. They always come back into the value zone eventually. Here it poked its head, went up, but you know, this is what I've been waiting for on these tech stocks. I've been waiting for a pullback into the value zone. Stop going down, look for some, look for a little bit of consolidation, and then look for some kind of entry trigger. So nothing on Microsoft. Netflix is another one. Better to buy in the value zone than up at these levels, right? Again and again, you can see that. Sometimes buying at these levels and it keeps going. I understand, but you do that 100 times, and I don't, you know, very small percentage of that's gonna that it's going to just continue without a pullback. Now we're pulling back right into the value zone. I really like to get into Netflix. I just have to see it stop going down and have a trigger to get in. Nike rejected the 200-day, so that's down today. Philip Morris had a big day. And again, we're above the 1 ATR channel. We're above the value zone. We come into the value zone. Always a better idea to buy the value zone and sell up here. PayPal, big reversal. Big reversal. Q's down substantially right now, or 1.5%. That's pretty substantial, I guess. Pull back into the value zone is what I'd be looking for. Silver, consolidating. I could look for a V1 or a V2. SPY, going to be buying this at the end of the day. Really glad that got out there near the top today. Thankful for that. Teladoc. Remember yesterday I was telling you that this looked very bearish. It went over 70, under 70, over the third, under the third. Bearish kangaroo tail. It's like I said, I'm not going to short this, but if I was going to short something, this is what it would be. Shucks. I wish I would have shorted it, right? But again, we were extended over the value zone. I just wait for the value zone and look for in here something to buy. Bing He's doing well with his TLT today. Tesla down today, 4%. Earnings are coming out. We'll see what happens there. Twitter. I can't remember who had Twitter yesterday, but they got out of it. So that was a good move. Looking for a pullback into value zone. United Airlines. Wow. Very, very nice. We had a V. No, we didn't have. Oh, earnings are tomorrow. No, or this afternoon or tomorrow. So people are buying this ahead of earnings. but I can't get in and buy ahead of earnings. Natural gas came into the value zone, had a nice V1, but this looks a little janky to me. United Healthcare looking for a pullback. Oil stabilizing a little bit. You know, there's a huge gap here. There's a huge gap here. Generally, markets like to fill these gaps, but nothing there. Vixx, boy, you know, Vixx is somewhat interesting. We did have this low over here. We did rally. We've come back down. No double bottoms or divergences or anything like this, but we do have a pretty nice V1 here. And we tested that bottom and it held, closing above the 50. It's a possibility. Let me just see how it closes. Verizon, no. Walgreens, I don't see anything there. Walmart, again, you know, we got a little ahead of ourselves up here. Like to see it pull back into the value zone. Energy, look for value zone. You know, oil was down 20% this morning, and it rallied back. I'm not sure what it is now. So I don't know if we're maybe getting a little bit of some bottoming on oil, but that was a huge reversal from as low as we were. Financials, look at that. Rejected that downward sloping 50. You know, if I was in this trade, I'd be getting out there today. Real estate, just need to pull back into value. Utilities, nothing there. Healthcare, kind of a volatility bar. So there is some volatility coming into the market, and that's why you're seeing VIX pop up a little bit. And anyway, so I don't see anything here other than, you know, I already took the trade. I already took the love trade, the Southwest trade. But I still like this trade. We're under the value zone. Like it better in the value zone, but here we are, sideways motion, sideways motion, sideways motion. Today we poked down below. We washed out these lows and reversed back up. So not only did we reverse yesterday's low and reverse back up with the V1, we also rejected a bunch of other lows. So I'm still profitable on this. Again, I bought this. We had a big bar up intraday. I bought it halfway. Again, this is why I like to scale everybody. Scale, 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 right? Now we're back down. Now we're still above where I bought it, but it has come back down. But we are back in the value zone, so maybe we get a little bump here. But I am going to hold this, and so I think that's probably all I'm going to take. So I'm getting out. I'm getting out of MasterCard because of earnings. SPY looks like I'm going to get a better price on this at the end of the day. And then Love I am going to keep because it still has a confirmed V1. GM says SPY 2868 below that, short the market. Yeah, that has there's some different levels for sure on the SPY that are kind of important from a technical standpoint. Another one's 2700. There's a long-term trend line there that runs through 2700 right here. So it looks like we're still above the trend line. And that's why GM says, you know, short below. Oh boy, things are selling off now, aren't they? So if any of you that have positions up here on the board, if you have any new positions or you're changing positions after the market closes, let me know so I can update the board, okay? Boy, let's look at VIX on the weekly. Well, you know, it was way up high. We've come back. We're not into the value zone. We are holding that 10-day moving average. And we have had, you know what, I think I'm going to go ahead and just pass on this. Yes, we have a V1. I don't like the the strong move down. I do like the V1. I do like that it's above the 50-day moving average. I do like that it tested this, but the VIX is a wild one, and we have earnings coming up after the bell. I mean, it might go roaring up or it might go crashing down. So I think I'm just going to stay with what I have. And just that the only trade I had today, the new trade I had today was the love, which is still positive. So grateful for that. But my stop on this trade, by the way, will be tomorrow if we get a close below halfway of this washout bar. And Zach, if you're listening, the reason I use washout bar, halfway of the washout bar, is 100% because of that Fibby, Fibby. We'll call it Fibby from now on, as the 50% retracement level. It should hold. And if it doesn't, it's not a great sign. GM says, there goes the market 27.72. SPX target tomorrow 27.75. Useless support before earnings. Yeah, that makes sense. GM sharp. She is sharp. Christopher says, TUIAG may be worth a look. It is a UK stock. I don't think I can look at that one, Chris. I can give it a shot. What, if you want to share, what do you like about it? Yeah, I don't have it. Is it a V1? Is what a V1, Chris? Bob, USO is a futures contract index and not a spot price. Yeah, that's correct. It's not spot price. USO is a very, very tricky animal. I mean, you know, they buy futures and they have to roll futures from 1 month to the next. And we're in contango, which means that the further out pricing is more expensive. And so if you have to buy something at 25 and then get out of it at 20 and 25, I think it's splitting tomorrow 10 for 1, by the way. But it's a strange animal, Bob. USO is a strange animal, you know. And I really wouldn't recommend buying that if you don't fully understand what that trading vehicle is about. Oh, TUI. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't pull up TUI on this chart. I wish I could. GM says, what do I do with all these monies? LOL. GM, do not buy USO. It's about to split 8 times. Is it an 8-time split or a 10-time split? I thought it was an 8 or a 10. Buy US after the split. All right, good to know. All right. Again, if we have any changes today in the market with anything that you've put on the board, please let me know. It looks like my Southwest Airlines is still doing fine. Going to buy the SPY at the close. Selling MasterCard because of earnings tomorrow, and Apple is the long-term calls. Zach says, I bought Mark last week since my wife is in healthcare and thought that it would impact their world. Seems to be blowing up out of the blue. Wow. Well, this is a really good example, Zach, again, of sidewards motion. Sideways range, tight range, tends to break to the upside or to the downside. We just don't know which way, and we don't know how long. But I've never seen that not work, right? When you have consolidation and it busted out huge. Oh, it's up 25%. My goodness. Wow. Wow. But you bought it last week when it was in this tighter range. Fantastic. It's always a good idea to buy. That's what I like. You know, that's why I like sidewards motion, because it is a range. I mean, look at Love. Right? Not the sideways motion that yours just had, but you see the sideways motion. Oh, there we go. 8 times. Who plans to buy an iPhone, Apple iPhone, for the next 2 months? Yeah, that's a good question, GM. If anybody wants to respond. So, all right. So I am out of MasterCard because of earnings tomorrow. That was a nice higher low V2 trade in the value zones. So we'll take that off the board. Zach, do you want me to put that? Mark trade up on the board? Javier says, "What's the thinking behind sideways motion?" The thinking is people don't understand. Well, you have. Let's take a look at it again. A sideways motion really means there's price discovery. There's just as many buyers there are sellers. Like it's indecisive, Javier. They're not quite sure. It won't go down, but it won't go up. So it's just staying in a tight range. People are just trying to figure out really what the right direction is. But whenever you have this sideways motion, it leads to big bars. Or another way to say it is small bars lead to big bars. Big bars lead back to small bars. Okay, so let's GMO. No, that's not right. Okay. GME. All right, so let's get Zach here. Zach bought at 528. Oh, look at that. I got it right there. Zach. All right, buddy, you're on the board. If you have any other changes with that tomorrow, let me know. But that was a good entry. So far, up 6.41%. Congratulations. Very nice. Oh, no. You did buy some Vixx. All right. Yeah, I don't blame you. I don't blame you on that. I do like that we tested the bottom with the V1, the close over the 50. Yep. 39.06. Well, you have the potential for a big move tomorrow if companies disappoint, so we'll see. I'm running out of room here for new. All right, we got you there. We got you on the board, bud. Christopher says, not until they bring out 5G version. I have iPhone Pro. Javier says, no need to buy iPhone until 5G is released. Zach says, let's do it. Got it. Thank you. You're welcome, Javier. I always like to look for sideways motion. That's why on return to value trades, I'm always talking about return to value trades. I want to see it come back into the value zone, move sideways, because I know sideways movement can explode to the upside. Okay. Alphabet earnings are out. Here are the numbers. Oh, up 2.2%. All right, so it made back a little of its 3% loss today. So seems like they're fairly in line. down a little bit from what the estimated was, 987 compared to 1076, but it is up. It's up 1.41%. What else are other things doing after hours? Apple's up 42 cents. Amazon's up $4.09. Love's up 4 cents. Well, I am very happy that today was a up day for me. Always grateful when things are green, especially when the indexes are red. And, you know, who knows if things will come back into the value zone. But if they do, that's where I'm really looking to buy something with some size, right? You know, when prices get extended above the 1 ATR channel and 2 ATR channel, I'm kind of stuck. There's really not much I can do. And if it just takes on and goes off without me, it's kind of frustrating, right? But majority of the time it does come back into the value zone, and that's what I'm looking for. But that's why I've kind of transitioned into day trades lately, because there haven't been a lot of good end of day trades just because of the levels. So if, you know, if we keep coming back, then it gets back into the zone where I can become interested again. Listen, if anybody has any questions or comments or jokes or poems or anything else, please let me know. Just want to go ahead right now just quickly and do my quick little daily plug. Hope it's okay with everybody. But I do teach private one-on-one coaching and teaching lessons in the evening time via Skype. I love to teach. I've had great success with my clients. I've been trading for 24 years. I've studied with some really good traders and mentors and coaches like our friend Stephen Burns, Dr. Alexander Elder, Kerry Laverne, Larry Williams. I have a course. It's 5 sessions. Each session is 3 hours, just you and I on Skype. I teach you everything I've learned, my experience, and from the traders that I just mentioned. It's an involved course. The first half of the course I teach. The second half I basically ask you questions, have you teach it back to me, and we do a lot of chart study. We go through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of charts, days of charts, and you know, I have here, I'm breaking down the chart. In the lessons, you're the one breaking it down for me after I teach you. So I think one-on-one is the best way to learn anything, whether it's guitar or trading or anything else. And that's why this is the way I teach, because it's really important to me that my students do well. And so I want to teach them the best way I can, and that's one-on-one. So, you know, if you're interested in taking this course with me, please reach out to me. My email is in the description of this video. You can also send me a message on Twitter. But before I take on a new student, I like to have a Skype call with them just so that they can ask me about the course. You know, they can ask me any question about the course, what it entails, so forth and so on. And then I like to ask them questions about their trading history, their challenges, their goals, you know, and then, you know, if we think we're a good fit together, we'll go ahead and schedule the lessons. So, and by the way, the Skype call is free, and I promise you there's no pressure. I just want to put a face with the name, see if we're a good fit, and then basically have you ask me questions about the course, right? See if you're interested. And if you are, great. If not, totally fine. And then if you like today's podcast or live stream, whatever we want to call it these days, I would really appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button before you click out of here. It only takes a second, and it does help grow the channel. A lot of people out there do need help with trading, and I think if we could get them to this channel, that you know, they could learn some good trading principles. So, all right, so that's that. So Starbucks. Oh, let's look at Starbucks. Ooh, Starbucks is down, not too much, about 1% or so. Okay. Let's see what Vixx is doing after hours as well. Yeah, it's down a little bit. Okay. Zach says, thanks for today. Got to go finish mowing my yard. All right, Zach. Have a good time mowing, man. Javier says, Walter Bloomberg, Alphabet experienced significant slowdown in ad revenue. Yeah, I had heard that. GM says, I'm still holding Amazon and Tesla puts. All right. Zach says, Greg, is there a correct way to play a trade like Mark that basically is moving solely on news? Well, I mean, the key to any trade is defining where a good risk to reward is and defining where you're going to get out, whether to the upside or the downside. Now, would I buy this here today at this level? No way. If I was in this trade, I may have gotten out with the rejection of this 100-day moving average, but you know, this could continue to go up. I mean, it really, really could. I mean, there's a huge amount of volume. It could go up. I think it depends, Zach, you know, where did you buy it and what was your plan? But you said you bought it last week, so you bought it somewhere down in here, and now, you know, you're getting close to having maybe a 26% return, somewhere in there. Halfway of this bar, if we lose halfway of the bar, that would not be good technically. You know, if it rejected the third ATR channel. Me personally, I mean, my honest opinion, if I had a huge day like today on this, I would have sold a portion of this, and I would wait to see if it rejects a 70 RSI. At the very least, I would start trailing it with the close below halfway or a close below the previous day's low. Kind of hard. This is a tough one. Or just get out. I mean, you made 25%. Javier says, always plug, Greg. Well, I got to do my plug, right? I mean, that's part of the deal. I teach for an hour and a half, and I have 2 minutes of commercials, so I felt like that wasn't too bad. Tesla GM says Tesla for tomorrow 707. Oh boy. Well, okay, that would be down. So is Tesla's earnings in the morning? No, I think they're afternoon, right? Oops, sorry about that. Yeah, they're tomorrow afternoon. William says, thanks for all you do, Greg. See you tomorrow. See you all tomorrow. Smash the like button. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that, William. Have a good day, bud. Nice having you here. GM says, have a wonderful night. I like this broadcast. Thanks, Greg and everyone. You are welcome. You are welcome, ma'am. And thank you so much for coming by, and I'll get that straight from here on out. Zach says, got in at 39. All right. And was hoping to hold for long term due to COVID. Didn't expect it to happen that quick. Okay, look, if it's a long-term trade, then it's a long-term trade, you know? Look, this sideways motion is great. I mean, this could go up another 2 or 3 times. The only key is just don't let this turn into a loss. Right? That's my main concern, Zach, is that you would let it turn into a loss. And, you know, taking a small percentage off as it goes up. Of course, you know, I like to phase out. I think that would also be smart too. Then you don't get all of it, but if it does come back crashing down to earth, then at least you lock some profits in. Zach says, may just evaluate in the morning as it looks like it's climbing quite a bit after hours as well. Oh, good. I am glad to hear that. It's up another 2%, which is a penny, right? But glad to see that up. Okay, so Google's up 4%, so it has erased its losses for the day. So that could be some good news for the Qs tomorrow. Apple's up $1.35. SPY's up $1.16, so that's good for the overnight SPY trade. All right. Let me switch over here, see if I have any updates on anything. Okay. Facebook's up $3 after hours. That's good. So seeing the price of Google go up here makes me imagine that their forward guidance was pretty good. Google's I'm talking about. Ford had earnings. Ooh, it'd be interesting to see what Ford had. And they're down. All right. All right, everybody. If anybody has any other questions or comments, please let me know. If they want me to update anything on the chart, please let me know. It's a beautiful day here in Utah. I'm going to get my hiking boots on, go for a hike up in the mountains, get some fresh air and some sun, which will be nice. Javier says, how do you make sense of earnings announcements? There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reasons. Yeah, you're right, Javier. There really is not. And that's why I do not buy before earnings. Because sometimes earnings will be bad, but the stock will go up. Other times earnings will be good and the stock will go down. You know, investors bake it into the price. They anticipate that that's what's going to happen. And so that's why there's that old saying, buy the rumor, sell the fact, right? So Javier, I just don't mess with earnings because I'm not smart enough to figure it out. And if I have something like MasterCard, I sold it today, right? Because I don't know how it's going to react to earnings. Okay. Got it. Thank you. You're welcome, sir. You are certainly welcome for that. All right, everybody. Very thankful for today. Had some good trades. We'll see how that love trade pulls out or works out tomorrow. And I think that's it. All right. Well, listen, before I let you go, please go out and try to do something nice for somebody today. Just give them a call, check up on them, see how they're doing, see how their day's going, right? Always good to just check in on people, especially your friends. Let them know you're thinking about them. So have a good rest of your day. If you can remember before you click out of here, if you could hit that thumbs up button, I would really appreciate it. And tomorrow is a new day. Right? And hopefully see you tomorrow during the last hour of the market. Thanks again. Talk to y'all soon. And thanks, Zach. Appreciate that, bud. Bye-bye. U.S. government required disclaimer. Stock, options, futures, and forex trading is not appropriate for everyone. While there is a potential for large rewards, there is also a substantial risk of loss associated with trading. The material in this video or live broadcast is not geared towards any particular individual or to any particular financial situation and is not intended to meet the particular investment objectives of any viewer. This video or live broadcast, like all instructional materials produced by Gossett Trading and Mentoring LLC, is created and published for informational and educational purposes only. Any and all information contained in, implied, or referenced by this video or live broadcast is not to be construed as investment advice, and no representation is made that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast is an investment or financial advisor or is registered or authorized to give any financial advice. We are publishers and educators only. Therefore, the various producers of this video or live broadcast will not accept liability for any loss or damage of any kind which may arise either directly or indirectly out of the use of any of this material, including any loss of profit. No representation is made that any account or investment will or is likely to achieve the profit or losses demonstrated. We recommend consultation with a licensed and qualified professional before making any investment decision. This video or live broadcast is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell any security, financial instrument, or financial product of any kind. Notice is hereby given that any individual or entity involved in production of this video or live broadcast or their clients may have an interest in any security, financial instrument, or financial product mentioned or referenced. Any simulated or hypothetical performance result depicted does not represent actual trading and therefore may under or overcompensate for the impact of various market factors such as lack of liquidity. Thank you.